I don't know, who's it favoring?
I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older now or what, but I feel like Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get it.
Who would you like to see Gervonta face next after this?
I would like to see Gervonta fight for a world title.
Against who?
Is he at 135, right?
135, 140.
Oh, only one champ at 135, and that's Devin Haney. So Lomachenko.
Tank has always had his fair share of critics, but one of the loudest voices to ever challenge him isn't another male fighter, it's Claressa Shields. The two-time Olympic gold medalist and undisputed champion in multiple divisions has never held back when talking about Tank. To her, he's always been overrated, someone who's been hyped up by the boxing world more than he deserves. And after Tank's controversial draw against Lamont Roach, she had something to say once again.
I mean, we gotta think before we.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think that Tank is a great fighter and Roach is a great fighter, and they both had a good fight. I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it goes viral, and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental together, he'll fight better.
Remember,
if you asked a lot of fans, the fight with Roach was supposed to be another dominant display from Davis, but it didn't go that way. Instead, what fans got was a shaky performance, one that made people question if Davis was really as great as advertised, and Shields wasted no time in jumping in. Right after the fight, she said, might be the perfect time for Tank to finally get that therapy he wanted. If he can get his mind right, he can get back in the game. It wasn't just a casual jab. Shields knew exactly what she was doing. Tank had previously spoken about therapy and how it could help him get through the tough, harsh world of boxing. Shields throwing it back in his face right after a fight that left his reputation in doubt? That was just pure fire aimed at Tank. And it wouldn't be the first one.
Ain't never laced up, and you think Shakur gotta prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things inside of a gym. Beat guys up from his weight class all the way up to 178.
Because the big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody's talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is be mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
And you gonna go crazy in that?
Yeah, be calling me.
However, Tank was not about to let that slide. It didn't take long for Davis to fire back. He clapped back, saying, how's some woman boxer gonna think she can take down a male professional boxer? The fact that some grown woman can think of that is just one reason why I don't even have something to say. Can't start throwing words with a deluded woman. It was classic Tank. Direct, dismissive, and ready to turn the heat up. But if there's one thing about Claressa Shields, it's that she doesn't back down. She's been saying for years that she could beat male boxers, especially Tank. She's sparred with them, trained with them, and has always made it clear that she thinks most of them, including Tank, wouldn't stand a chance against her. Shields has been on this for a long time. Back in 2019, she confidently claimed she could take down Keith Thurman and even said she could give Gennady Golovkin a run for his money. She wasn't just saying it for the headlines, she truly still believes it. And when it came to Tank, her opinion was even sharper. To her, Davis is just a small fighter, someone she can break down with her superior skills and experience. She's always been vocal about the size difference being overrated. I spar with men all the time. I drop them. I bust their noses, she once said in an interview. She wasn't saying she could beat every man, but she had no doubt in her mind that certain fighters, like Tank, weren't as untouchable as they thought. In fact, she sees younger fighters like Keyshawn giving Tank a hard time.
Would you actually would you still favor Gervonta over Keyshawn right now, and why?
No, I mean, it'd be a really good fight, but like I said, Tank got a lot of stuff that Keyshawn had to go against, but Keyshawn got something that you can't take, and that's that self-belief in himself. He got that dog, he got a good chin. He coming to fight you, he don't care what you're doing. Like, that's a dangerous fighter who's not scared to lose, who's willing to go out on a shield. Keyshawn's a hard fighter to beat. 100%.
This isn't the first time Shields and Davis have clashed. Their beef has been around for years, fueled by constant back and forths on social media. Just last year, things got personal when Davis insulted Shields' looks, calling her a French bulldog. Shields didn't hesitate to fire back, hitting him where it hurt, bringing up his past legal troubles. "I'm so happy you think I look like a French bulldog because you only beat up the ones you think are cute," she shot back. It was a brutal response, one that had fans talking for days.
Quick. Tank. I am so happy that you think I look like a French bulldog and you consider me ugly.
Shields has never respected the way Tank carries himself in the sport. She's been vocal about how much of his success came from having Floyd Mayweather by his side. To her, he was never self-made. He was guided, protected, and built up by one of the greatest boxers of all time. She even said, "If you ain't had Floyd right there holding your hand, I don't know where you would be at." That cut deep, because it played into one of the biggest criticisms Tank has faced, that he hasn't truly faced the toughest competition out there, that he's been carefully moved through his career. But Tank already made it clear that he already achieved his goals.
Or that father made them box. I had to box. I had to get myself out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was coming to, I didn't say I'm gonna be this
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself. Cause I already, you feel me?
But what really seems to irritate Shields the most is how people act like Tank is untouchable. She's made it clear that she doesn't buy into that myth. And the Roach fight only gave her more fuel. A draw against a fighter most people thought Tank should have dominated? To Shields, that is all the proof she needed that he isn't as great as people made him out to be. And when she made her therapy comment, she wasn't just talking about his mental health, she was questioning his whole career, his whole image.
I got more belts than him. I got more Olympic gold medals than him. He can't say that I can't box.
Yeah.
So what else he gonna say? Man, she ugly. And you're short. So it'd be like, when he went that route, and I've been like an advocate for him, like when he got into the trouble, I didn't share nothing.
But she wasn't stopping here. It seems that Claressa Shields isn't about to let the controversy surrounding Tank's fight with Lamont Roach Jr. die down. To Shields, the whole situation only confirmed what she's believed for years. Tank is a dangerous fighter, but he's also just another pretty boy of the sport, hyped beyond his worth. And worse, he was making excuses. Shields took particular issue with Davis complaining about grease in his hair affecting his performance. Grease? You worried about grease? A lot of male boxers fight with blood in their eyes, she shot out. To her, it is just laughable that a fighter with Tank's reputation was even bringing up something like that. This was supposed to be the most feared knockout artist in boxing, the guy who could put anyone to sleep with one punch, and now he was talking about his hair? Shields made it clear that real fighters push through way worse, and if Tank wanted to be taken seriously as a true warrior, he needed to start acting like one. And as much as Tank fans might not like Shields' argument, this one makes sense to many.
Shakur can bang, can box, and I think that he's a better boxer than Tank. Now, is he a knockout artist? No. But that fight, Shakur got enough power and the skill set to where he can offset some stuff with Tank. Tank knows that. And if Shakur's so easy to beat, Tank should just fight him.
She didn't stop there. The two-time Olympic gold medalist continued dissecting the fight, breaking down why she believed Roach had done enough to get the win. If one judge had Tank 115, 113, and the others had it even 114, I believe Roach won the fight because that knee he took was 100% a knockdown, Shields argued. She wasn't alone in this belief. Many in the boxing world felt that the referee made a mistake by not counting that moment as a knockdown, and Shields made sure to remind everyone that if it had been Tank in Roach's position, the call would have gone differently. But Shields wasn't just talking about this fight, she was using it to highlight a bigger point she had made before. To her, Tank was always protected. She had been saying it for years, that he was given favorable matchups. And now, with a controversial draw against Roach, she felt like she had more proof. They've been doing this for him, she said. When it's a real fight, they make sure it doesn't go against him. She didn't outright call it a robbery, but she made it clear she believed Tank got lucky, like he's always been.
Only thing is, are you really that good or not? The cream is gonna rise to the top regardless. So even though your career is manufactured, you still gotta go out there and win. Even though you're getting these opportunities, you still gotta make them count. Every opportunity they gave to Tank, most of the time it ended in a knockout. So he made it count. The thing is, the entire time he was a protected fighter, the entire time. So now you're at the mountaintop, people looking at you like you Floyd Mayweather, you Pernell, you Roy, like you pound for pound. They looking at you like you are a real.
And she wasn't alone. Shakur Stevenson has been waiting for a moment like this. He hopped on X after the fight gloating, "I made at least 20K tonight on Lamont." He had predicted that Roach would give Davis trouble, and when asked who he saw winning the fight, he didn't hesitate. "Lamont," Stevenson told Fight Hub TV. "We're going to see if Tank really wants this fight now. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this."
All the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to shit on him, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't going to shit on him.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
You told him I won. Got you. I talked to you.
Even Terrence Crawford himself had jumped in, not one to hold back when it came to Tank. After the fight, Crawford bluntly stated, "Roach won, and that should have been called a knockdown. Let's see what happens." Crawford has never been shy about his opinions on Davis, and this time was no different. He, like Shields, saw the whole situation as another example of how boxing politics worked in favor of certain fighters. Davis, for his part, wasn't about to start taking advice from Shields, Stevenson, Crawford, or literally anyone there is. "Y'all just some haters," he said in response to the criticism, but Shields wasn't done. She reminded people that this wasn't the first time Tank had looked vulnerable. She pointed to his fight with Isaac Cruz, where he went the distance and had people questioning whether he was really as unbeatable as his record suggested. "Ain't nothing new," she said. "Every time he fights someone real, it's a struggle."
I don't think Pitbull deserves a rematch.
Really? So the fight wasn't as good that you could do a rematch?
It was one of Tank's better fights, if not his best fight. Does that mean they grant him a rematch?
But that's probably his toughest opponent that he's had.
The feud between Shields and Davis was already heated, but this time, it feels like it has reached a new level. Shields isn't just calling out Tank, she is tearing down his entire reputation piece by piece. And with names like Shakur Stevenson and Terrence Crawford backing up her take, the noise isn't going away anytime soon. And funny enough, none of what Shield is saying can be seen as hate. As much as she is attacking Tank, there is just some sense in all that she is saying. What fans just don't like is how she gets confident against male boxers.
Ryan, you're just fast, Ryan, and you're
literally hit
big.
you in your temple so bad you won't even know what hit you.
Okay, Ryan, so when you gonna come do it?
Nah, it'll be there smelling salt.
I'm asking a question. Because
Yeah,
I got a boxing ring at my gym, and if
you got dropped by a no name.
Ryan, you talking about something that was 5 years ago. I'm happy you brought that up.
About to have kids.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Claressa Shields rarely sees eye to eye with Tank, but when she recently came across that viral footage of Tank refusing to engage in a street fight, she had something to say. For once, it wasn't straight up criticism. Instead, Shields used the moment to make a bigger point, one that, on the surface, seemed to put her and Tank on the same side. But knowing Shields, it wasn't that simple. It never is. The two-time Olympic gold medalist has made it clear that she doesn't respect Davis the way most of the boxing world does. So was this really a moment of unity? Or was Shields just playing mind games, making sure her criticisms always looked fair before she went back to tearing him down?
And if he's to be successful, how would he do that?
To be Tank?
Yeah.
Now you want me to give somebody the game plan on how to be Tank?
Dude, you would be a great trainer because you have the skill.
Don't like me, so I ain't gonna get nobody the recipe.
The video showed a man walking up to Davis, acting like a fan at first, then suddenly switching up and trying to bait him into a street fight. It wasn't some random challenge, this was straight up clout chasing. The guy wanted to prove something, maybe get a viral moment out of it, but Davis wasn't falling for it. Tank knew better. He didn't engage, didn't react, didn't even entertain it. The guy eventually gave up and walked away, throwing in a, well, God bless man, as if that made it any less pathetic.
Gervonta Davis, right? What's good, brother? Hey, man, I was just trying to catch a friendly fade with you. I know you do all that boxing shit. You feel me? For some money. I got money. You ain't the only one with money. Like, a little fade. Something that's not orchestrated on live TV, but just on some hood shit. I put belt to ass. Well, God bless, man. It looked like you turning down the fade. God bless. Jesus is good, or whatever. Whatever you worship, Buddha, all that. I'm a Zoe. God bless everybody. Y'all look very uncomfortable. It's not that deep. All right, bye.
Shields saw the clip and reacted instantly. See, that's why I trashed that troll up. Stop playing all the time, she tweeted, reminding everyone of a time she had to deal with something similar. But here's where it got interesting. Shields wasn't just making a general point. She was making sure people knew that unlike Davis, she wouldn't have walked away. She wasn't defending Tank so much as she was drawing a line between them, letting people know that while he might back down, she never would.
The big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
You gonna go crazy in that?
You're gonna be calling me ugly for real then?
Do you think that's a 50-50?
I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I think that Tank got some great skills and got some hard ass punches.
Mm-hmm.
He's so explosive, but so is Shakur. Yeah. Shakur has, to me, faced harder challenges.
That's the thing with Shields. Even when it looks like she's being neutral, there's always a deeper meaning to what she's saying. She made it clear that she has no patience for people treating professional fighters like they're NPCs in a video game, like they're supposed to fight on command just because someone walks up to them. I'm gonna piece him up, just sign his waiver, she added. That last part wasn't just about random street fights, it was a deeper shot at Tank. Shields was saying that she wouldn't need an excuse to throw hands, and that's been one of her biggest criticisms of Davis.
Tank said something to me. I said something to him. He said something back to me. I said something back to him. He got angry. And that's what it is. I'm a fan of his boxing. He's a great boxer. Needs to fight more stiff competition for sure. But hey, he's great in his own right. He's a knockout artist. I wish him.
She sees him as someone who gets too many excuses, and she wasn't going to let this situation pass without subtly making that clear. It all goes back to what Shields has been saying about Tank for a while now. She doesn't see him as the monster that most of his fans do. She sees him as just another boxer who's been overhyped, protected, and given too much room to make excuses. And that's exactly what she thought about his reaction to the Lamont Roach Jr. fight.
He's human, and we're entitled to our own opinion, our own thoughts, our own feelings, and I just, he said something to me, I said what I said back. It is what it is. I ain't got nothing against. Hey, man, I'm all about positivity and prosperity, baby. I ain't got nothing against nobody.
After that fight ended in a draw, Tank had a lot to say about what went wrong. He wasn't happy about the judging, and he wasn't happy about Roach's tactics. To Shields, that was just another excuse, another way for Tank to avoid taking full responsibility, and she wasn't having it. But Shields wasn't just talking about the Roach fight. She was making a broader point about Davis himself. This wasn't about one bad night. This was about how she's always seen him. Shields has never been shy about saying that she believes she could beat Tank in a fight, and that's not just trash talk. She genuinely believes it. If anything, she believes she should get more credit.
What do a woman gotta do to get to where Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia and Canelo are at? What else can I do as a woman fighter? I beat everybody. I said that in the article. I fought the best. 3-time undisputed. 3-division world champ. I fought at 68, 60, and 54. Beat the best that there was at the weight classes. What else? Listen to me. What else can I do to become the face of boxing?
For years, she's viewed him as a fighter who's too small, too hyped, and not nearly as invincible as his fans think. Shields has made it clear that, in her mind, Tank isn't someone who dominates opponents. He's someone who gets favorable matchups, and when he finally struggles, he looks for excuses instead of owning it. That's what made this moment so interesting. On the surface, it looked like Shields was standing up for Davis, calling out people who try to challenge professional fighters on the street. But in reality, she was using that moment to once again separate herself from him. She was saying that while Tank might walk away from a fight, she never would. While Tank might complain about grease in his hair, she would fight through blood in her eyes.
Clearly in there, man. I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the. I've been telling y'all that.
And to top it all off, Shields made sure to remind everyone that, even with everything going on, she was still in the game. She mentioned that the Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission had just lifted her suspension after she tested positive for the chill leaf following her heavyweight championship fight against Danielle Perkins. That wasn't just a random update. It was her way of reinforcing her point. Even with setbacks, even with controversy, she was still fighting. That's what she's always seen as the biggest difference between herself and Tank. She's had to prove herself over and over again. She's had to take tough fights, move up in weight, and deal with constant criticism. Tank, in her eyes, he's been protected, and that's why this beef isn't going anywhere. Even when it looks like there's a moment of unity, it's just another setup for Shields to remind the world why she doesn't respect Davis the way others do. This isn't ending anytime soon. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.